Hello and welcome to For Heaven's Sake, a Seventh Heaven podcast. We are your co-hosts, Lady J.
And T.
How are you, T?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
We're recording this on the same day as the last episode, so I'm still sick.
I'm sorry. Nothing changed
okay.
within that hour?
No, I didn't get magically better. But it's okay. I still sound nasally, but, you know.
It's cute, though.
Is it?
Well.
Do I have, like, Phoebe Buffet sick voice? Thank you, my
sexy.
babies.
Thank you, my babies.
And I'm looking for my paper mache man. That's for all my friends, fans out there. They'll know what that means. But yeah, I am excited for this episode.
Are you?
No, okay. I don't know. There's moments of it that I love.
Okay.
And then there's moments of it where I'm just like continually cringing.
Shame here.
Yeah. Particularly Rose moments. Like,
hey, man.
I'm ready to fucking pop this bitch. Like,
I know. I know. But,
oh my God.
But I am so glad to see not this nice side of her being being manipulative. This mean streak is actually coming out.
I'm like struggling to remember what you're talking about.
It's when they're having soup. And she's like, you've compromised enough for your family. And when her voice is projecting and she has an attitude,
I see what you're saying.
I was like, yes. We're not being nice.
That's right. Where her true colors are coming through. Finally.
I was like, finally. I was like,
yes.
And every time Simon is saying something, I'm like, bro, do you hear yourself?
I know.
Are you hearing yourself?
I know.
Like, you just want to shake him.
I know. I can't even. Okay. This is episode 1007, titled "Soup's On."
Soup sounds so good right now.
Thank you. Like I'm gonna make myself some chicken noodle after this. Like it's happening.
Some soup, yeah.
The Amazon Prime spoilie is Martin dreads telling his father about Sandy's pregnancy. And the DVD description is, as Ruthie collects soup labels for school, Simon has money problems trying to pay for Rose's ring. Sandy's father gives Lucy $3,000 for Sandy and the baby.
Yeah.
Or, it should say Lucille, but still. Do you watch Arrested Development?
Yeah. Well, I didn't watch any of the new stuff that came out.
Okay, right. But didn't Lucille just make you think of Arrested Development?
Yeah.
Like every time it came up, I just had a flash of either Liza Minnelli or Jessica Walter. Like,
thank you. Same.
So,
and I love that he's such an ass about it, Lucille.
He really is an asshole, this guy.
But like, it would always make me chuckle when he would say Lucille. I was like,
at first I thought he was just like, he just was an idiot and didn't know.
Yeah.
But then as soon as like it got corrected like 3 times and he kept saying it, I was like, oh, you're just an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I see you now. Okay. So I think we start with Sandy and her dad, right? Because that's sort of like a self-contained story we can touch on that doesn't really touch anyone else's stuff.
Yeah, because he comes in and he's hoping to see Lucy, but he sees Eric instead.
Right, yeah. He comes to the church. Lucy's not there because she's at home.
Yeah.
And he gives Eric an envelope of cash.
Yeah.
And we get to see that it's just like chock full of hundreds.
Yep.
And he says that he found it at the bank.
When he said that, I'm like, wait, what do you mean you found it, bro?
Yeah. And then honestly, like at first I thought like, oh, haha, like he just had it in his bank account. He's saying it in a funny way.
Yeah.
But then I stopped and I was like, no, wait, he's saying he found it. Like, does that mean he robbed the bank?
Yeah,
like,
right.
Fully, I was like, wait, shit. Like,
are you sure we should take this money?
Yeah.
You know?
Like, where's the blue thing? You know, like the paint or whatever. So anyway, so then Eric runs into Kevin because he forgot to pick up the twins and Kevin did it.
Oh, dude, that was really funny.
It was really funny.
Because Annie was like, what do you mean? And she's like losing her mind, truly, because she grabs her own head, like her head.
Well, okay, it's really funny because she comes in carrying a grocery bag and he's like, oh, is that everything? And she's like, yeah, it's just one bag. And she goes like, aren't you forgetting the twins? Like, oh, did you forget them at the grocery store? And she's like, wait. And for a second, I legit thought she did.
Yeah, same here.
And then it turns out that Eric was supposed to pick them up from school, and that never happened. But they called Kevin, and so Kevin dropped them off, whatever.
Yeah.
So because he sees Kevin, he's like, hey, give this to Lucy, would you? But also, could you look into seeing if there was any robberies at any banks in the area recently? So then... I'm
trying to, and whenever you see the hundreds in there, I'm like, is that what hundreds look like then?
I think so.
You know,
the old school hundreds.
Yeah, I was like, this looks like a collector's edition now.
I bet they are.
Right?
I bet a classic $100 bill would be really worth.
Yeah, there's certain years that it's the value has gone up. Yeah. It's crazy
because they're just not in circulation anymore. So
I was like, damn, $100 bill.
Did I just say circulation?
Circulation.
Anyway, so then Lucy makes arrangements to take the money up to Sandy.
Yeah.
But first she calls her, right? Because her dad says, don't give it to her all at once.
She'll blow it.
Yeah.
And
then, so Lucy calls her and tells her about the money.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I need the money. So cool, whatever. Like, I'm not going to, question it, whatever. So Lucy's like, okay, but just, should I give it all to you at once or whatever? Like, Lucy's trying to like figure out like, what should I do here? And Sandy's like, listen, like, I'm fine, honestly. Like, I don't do drugs. I don't do anything. And Lucy's like, okay, but like, what about sex though? And she's like, I haven't done that in so long. Like, I just slipped with Simon. And Lucy's like, hold up, what now?
Yeah.
Because nobody knew about Simon and Sandy.
No.
Even this is a revelation. Like, or this is
Lucy's the first
revelation.
to know.
I know. It's so cool.
Second
it's the
time.
greatest feeling. And she's like, okay, now what now about Simon? What'd you just say? And so all of a sudden, Lucy's got this like secret.
Yeah.
Which of course she tells her husband because they tell each other everything.
I know.
And Lucy says the greatest line of all time. When she said it, I was like, say it again, girl. Because I said the same thing 3 episodes ago.
I wonder if Rose knows that Sandy is one of Simon's conquests.
I wonder that too. Maybe if she doesn't know and she finds out, she'll get really angry and she'll give back the ring.
Boom.
Mm-hmm. I hope so.
I mean,
we all hope for that. Yeah.
Especially because it's at the end of this episode when Sandy's talking to Lucy again.
Yeah,
Rose comes up.
Yeah.
And because Sandy mentions Simon's name or whatever.
Yeah. And she's like, what about Simon?
Mm-hmm. And so these two are going to have at it. I
can't wait.
It's going to come down.
I can't wait.
It's going to be the biggest cat fight in the history of cat fights.
I can't wait.
And I really hope it results in her and Simon no longer being together. Like, I really genuinely hope that.
I mean, dude.
I know.
And to hear Lucy saying, by the way, don't let them know you got cash.
Oh, right. Well, because Simon has already called everybody he knows,
Yeah.
his dad, Lucy, Kevin, whatever,
Yeah.
asking for $100
Yeah.
to help cover his bills that month because
Simon
paying for
the bank.
ring, I know. It's so sad.
And in the bank.
And didn't she get Mary vibes?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
It was like goosebump Mary vibes from like season 3 or 4 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was so awful. And so, and then to find out in the end that he went to Mary. Ugh.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because, when he picked up that cell phone to dial, I'm like,
oh yeah, I knew.
Really?
I knew right away.
I didn't know who he was going to call because the fight or whatever that happened between Simon and Rose at the table.
Uh-huh.
Simon's face looked a little interesting. There was a moment on his face that I don't know if there was doubt or not. I'm hoping that there was doubt, right? Like
in
that's
Rose,
just
like with about
yeah.
Rose.
But there's just this one shot that the camera focuses on Simon and then it's gone. I'm like, what? Why would you do this to me? Am I supposed to care about that? I don't know.
Well, but see again, and I keep coming back to it, like little by little, episode by episode, once an episode, right? Like we see one more crack in the sheen of Simon's like love for Rose. Like one little, and then eventually that whole thing's gonna come shattering down. Like you just know it's coming.
Yeah,
you know?
I would help you with the phone, but I had to pay for the dress.
And then she goes talk about stars. There's a veil, and I'm just like, God damn it! And he tells her, he's like, can't you just go to your parents and be like, we're in love, we're gonna get married, things are starting to pile up, we need help. And she's like, well, when they get back, we'll talk.
They're always back in the States for the holidays.
And I'm like, where the fuck are your parents? If they're rich enough to like live in Europe all year long, why aren't you more involved financially in this situation, bitch? Like, why is it all on Simon's shoulders? Like, what the fuck is her problem? I can't even. Oh my God, my blood's boiling, T.
Oh, she's just a rotten human.
She's such a rotten
And if
human.
my parents aren't back during Thanksgiving or Christmas, we can have the whole house to ourselves and we can be together, like together.
And he's like, I'm pretty sure my family's going to want me to be with them during the holidays.
Simon, I think you've compromised for your family enough. They already kicked me out. Bitch, you had it coming. Sorry.
I know.
But again, I am so happy that we saw Rose raise her voice and get upset.
See your true colors.
I was like, okay,
shouldn't be singing with my voice like this.
I like it, but I think, I'm happy about it. I'm happy to see this girl.
I mean, I'm not happy for Simon. I'm just like happy about it. Like seeing her crumble.
Yeah, when he said that, he's like, I think I'm gonna find a way to get the money, and then he's like, but then I have to pay for it again next month. I'm like, dude, are you hearing yourself? You picked up more hours at the radio station, and
I know,
dude.
It's just awful. Like
all
what
couples,
is his life?
All couples have money problems, bitch. Do they? Like I know a lot of people do, but come on, you shouldn't be having this kind of problem.
You know about all couples, bitch. Like what? Like have you been married before? Like what?
Yeah.
Like what are you even talking about?
Yeah.
You psychopath.
I know.
She's such a fucking like. Oh my God, I can't. I know. I just feel so bad for Simon. Like what has his life become, dude? Like all of a sudden he's an old married man. You know what I mean? He still has his whole life ahead of him like this. Like, okay, I will say though, you and I talked about how like, you can return rings, like it's doable.
Yeah.
These people are operating under the assumption that rings are not returnable, that like no matter what happens with Rose, he's paying for this ring.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks because like he totally could return it. You know what I mean? Like why are we pretending that that's not a real thing or whatever? But anyway, that's just my little aside. like
$100, right? He's giving them $100. He's paying them every month $100.
I don't know. So apparently he needs $100 to cover the rest of his bills because I guess his paycheck or whatever is going to pay for the ring. So he needs to keep his phone active. I'm guessing electricity and stuff. I don't know. I don't know what his bill situation is.
Yeah.
We know his parents are paying his rent.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing covers like utilities and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe his only other real expense is like his phone. I don't know.
So.
Maybe like cable or something. Who knows? But yeah. So, and he even says he's going to keep the landline deactivated for a while. Yeah. Which doesn't make me feel very good. Like, because he has a cell phone, so fine. But like, I don't know. I feel like back in 05, 06 or whatever, like, like you needed a landline. You know what I mean? Like,
it's true.
Like you couldn't quite. You had like minutes and shit you had to count. Like you only have a certain amount of texts. Like things like that. Like it wasn't the most reliable communication device at the time.
Cell phones were hard.
They really were just a challenge. I have to say this because I know she's listening and it's funny. Like every year, you know how Facebook does that thing of like on this year, on this day or whatever. Right? Yeah. So, so it keeps coming up every year around this time. I had texted my cousin something. Who cares? But like 10 years ago at this point, or 8 years ago at this point, I texted her something and she wrote on my Facebook wall, "Hey, I got your text. Sorry I didn't respond. I ran out of text for the month."
Oh shit.
And every year that it comes up, I crack up every time thinking about like, what even was life? Like, how did we live?
I ran out of text for the month.
So funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, right. So No, wait, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought.
Him, like, yeah.
Sandy and her dad and the money and all that stuff.
Yep.
So Sandy, so Lucy arranges to go up to give the money to Sandy. But then as she's at the church, and I love how she has all these like ideas. She's like, been like, she couldn't sleep. She was so excited. She's been writing down stuff that the church can do. And Eric's like, look at you, really like coming into it. Like, I love it. Like, she's like so excited. I love Lucy so much. So then all of a sudden Sandy's dad pops up.
Yep.
And he's
Hi, Lucille.
Hey, Lucille. I'm going to need that money back. I thought about it. Basically meaning he wants to blow it on booze, right?
Yeah.
He needs the money for booze. And then she's like, oh, well, it's too late. I've already wired it to her.
Yeah.
And he's like, I told you not to give it all to her at once. And she's like, well, I thought better of it. And I decided to. And so he's like, well, I'm going to need it back. And she's like, it's too late, whatever. They basically turned it into like a mini little intervention between the two of them. They didn't quite get through to him, but I feel like they started to potentially get him to like, sober up and get help. And
because he also lost his job.
That's right.
And he's trying to find another one until he gets back up on his feet. He needs some moolah, plus, because he's a functioning alcoholic. Yeah. So, yeah, he needs his cash. But my favorite, though, was when, what's his face? What is Sandy's dad's name?
I don't think we have a name for him.
Huh. All right. When Papa decides to tell them the backstory of where that cash came from and how his dad, got hit by a bus and how Lucy's like, well, if you want to be like your dad and get hit by a bus, Eric's face is like, what? Like, he's like, did my daughter just sass him? Like that look and the balls that she has. I'm like, yes, I know. This is good.
It's great. And then when he finally leaves, right? And she's like, well, maybe that's a start. Like you know, and he says something and she's like, thanks for the assist or whatever. Like they're super cute. Like I think this is going to be like a really good partnership for the two of them. Yeah. Like now that he's decided to let her do her thing. Yeah. And not micromanage it or whatever. Like it's going to be good. Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely going to be good.
And I also think this is not the last we've seen of Michael McDonald either. I feel like
it's kind of exciting.
Yeah, like again, like what we talked about in the last one, like given that this season seems to be very focused and not willy-nilly random. Yeah. I think that the introduction of this character was not for nothing. Like I think it's going to end up paying off, So we'll see. Hopefully.
It's like we have another Vic, but worse.
Oh, much worse.
You know what I mean?
Like, I think much worse.
Yeah, like we saw Vic out of it, like he's not drinking, right? And you're just seeing him just be annoying.
Yeah,
this one is dick. Yeah, this one is in it. He's in it, like he's going through it. So
yeah, it'll be interesting.
Vickery, sorry,
Paris Vickery, like ew.
That's just no.
Peter Vickery, no.
He's a Petrowski. I'm sorry.
Paris and Peter will always be Petrowskis as far as I'm concerned. Vic might as well be a Petrowski.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that concludes the Sandy and her father portion of the evening. Join us in the living room. No. Yeah. So when we talked about Simon too, pretty much, there's not much else to say about that.
Nothing's going on with Lucy, honestly.
No, just that stuff.
Yeah,
she's stuff with her dad, with Sandy's dad.
Yeah, she's just trying to handle it.
Just leaves us with Martin
and Papa, Bo.
Yeah. Plus Meredith.
Oh.
Plus Ruthie.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And
Ruthie's got her own stuff going on. Doesn't really have much to do with Martin.
Oh yeah, she's collecting Campbell
soup labels.
Yeah.
So okay, mind you, I googled it because I was like, they keep dropping the phrase Campbell's labels for education.
Yeah.
So I looked it up, and it was a real program, obviously, but it's since ended. They have it's like a FAQ on their website and everything. It's like, what happened to the labels for education program? And they said like for 43 years they did it, and it's not clear when that press release happened. I don't know how recent it was that they canceled it, but basically like it just, the cost of doing it wasn't outweighing the money they were being able to donate, or like, you know what I mean? Like people were not participating as much in recent years. And so they had to stop doing it because it wasn't feasible for them to continue to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was a cool thing, I guess. Like it's like how Box Tops is still.
Yeah.
Box Tops still exists, right? With the cereal GE or the cereal people, right? GE, that's not cereal. What am I thinking of? GE, General, right? General Mills. That's the food people, right?
Yeah.
They do that, I think, is the Box Tops.
But I don't. And her just trying to get all the labels for the newspaper that she doesn't even want to participate in.
I know, and she's just doing because Jack's the editor of the newspaper, and it's just like, okay.
You see them having a conversation.
I was shocked, I'll be honest.
That Jack is back?
That Jack is interested in her.
Yeah.
Because he told her he wasn't.
Well,
he said, no, he told her flat, point blank. Like, I think you're just a little too much drama for me. Bye.
I know. But then when the moment that everybody saw her being all sexy, do you remember Jack was there and he checked her out?
I didn't remember that. He was talking to like 3 other girls when that happened.
Yeah, I know. But I think he also checked her out.
Damn. All right. Well, whatever. He's into her now.
Yeah, apparently.
And she tells him, okay, again, Ruthie, it's like, you don't have to explain your whole life fucking story to this guy.
Yeah.
She's like, well, it's like, okay, I can date whoever I want, but first I have to do this thing. And like, you know, whatever. And she's like telling him everything. And I'm like, Ruthie, keep some mystery about yourself, woman. Like, what are you doing? And Jack's all like, I knew I'd crack this mystery. like, okay, whatever. Y'all are weird. Maybe you deserve each other. I don't know.
Probably.
I don't see how she's so stupid to think that if she dates Jack, she'll get Martin. Like, how could those two things ever be related to each other?
I don't know.
Like, what is she thinking? I don't get it. Is she even really into Jack? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. And then him calling her cute and she doesn't like it.
Yeah, what's that? What was that about?
I think it's because she still wants to be considered sexy.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yuck.
But it's like, you can be cute and sexy. Hello.
You can be all the things, but still, like, just nah.
I know. It was a little weird. I didn't love that whole thing with Jack in this episode. It just made me feel icky.
Yeah. It all makes me feel icky. There's nothing cute about it.
No. I do love, though, she gets all those labels, and then Annie's like, oh, why didn't I make the lunches for the twins? And then there's the whole label for you there. And she's like, okay. And then Dad can eat soup for lunch, and you can eat soup for lunch, and then I can eat soup for lunch.
Yeah.
And it's like 5 labels. And I'm like, okay, Ruthie, calm down. Like,
yeah, there was a lot of explaining background
about the labels. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I get it. I got it.
Yeah,
I'm done.
like, all we needed was the first beat of like, I'm going to do this thing about the labels. I'm going to go over to Kevin's because he does a lot. That's all I needed. I didn't need 15 more beats of collecting labels.
Apparently he didn't have enough.
And then she tells Jack like that he's going to tell the congregation. Eric's going to tell the congregation.
Yeah.
And like, that's hundreds of labels right there. And I was like, okay. And we never quite know how many they need, because she even says like, I don't know how many we already have, but I'm going to get the rest. And it's like, okay, can we at least talk in numbers since we're going to keep talking about them? Like,
seriously,
this is just going to go on forever. Like, what is this? It's so weird. But anyway, okay. So that brings us to the pièce de résistance of this episode. So Martin has promised Lucy that today's the day. He's going to tell his dad today. And she wants to be there for him in the aftermath. So she's like waiting up all night, waiting for the call from Martin, being like, I told him, whatever.
Yeah.
So, of course, that never happens. But that night, he and his dad are grilling burgers.
Yeah.
And Martin's being all like fidgety and whatever. And it was so nice seeing his dad again, first of all.
Yeah.
Welcome sight.
What has he been landscaping?
Yeah, I know. His dad's like, what's wrong, son? Like, what are you doing? Like, you seem nervous. Like, what's going on, you know? And Martin's like, no, nothing is cool, whatever. Like, he's like totally doesn't know how to talk to his dad. And then they're eating, and he's eating like 15 burgers.
Yeah, dude.
And his dad's like, do you want me to grill some more?
Yeah.
And Martin's like, just like chowing down.
Yeah.
And finally his dad has to be like, son, stop. Like, you're going to make yourself sick. Like, just talk to me. Clearly something's on your mind. Like, you know, we can talk about anything. Like, yeah, I've been away, but like we stayed close. Like, I'm here for you. Like, what's up, dude?
Yeah.
Like, just talk to me. I'm your dad. I love you. And then so Martin still can't say it. So then his dad guesses that Martin enlisted.
Yeah.
And Martin doesn't say no. So for a second, I believed it. I was like, holy shit, did he?
Yeah.
Like, as a way to get out of this whole pregnancy thing?
I was like,
what the
and
fuck?
you enlisted? What's wrong with you?
I know. So I'm like, holy shit, he did that. And then you realize he didn't. So, and then so poor Martin's dad, his name is Bo, right? I'm going to call him. So poor Bo's like, oh my God, son, like, it's not what I wanted for you. Like I know I did it, but like, you're smart, you have good grades, like you have your whole life, whatever. And Martin's just like,
Yeah, I have all that. I have all that.
which funnily enough, like that, like he would have said the same things if Martin had told him the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he still would have said, it's not what I wanted for you, whatever. You had your whole life ahead of you. So I feel like Martin's like hearing it that way anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which makes it even harder for him to tell the truth. So he chickens out and he goes to Eric instead. And Eric's like, oh, hey, Martin, what's up? And he's like, I know you know, okay? Like, let's cut the bullshit. Like, I can't tell him. I accidentally told him I enlisted. Like, I don't know what to do. Can you help me? So Eric's like, yeah, I'm here for you, whatever. It's cool. So then Bo comes. And then finally Martin tells him.
And I love how he reacts.
Yeah.
Not with anger, but more a little bit with sadness, but he's also trying to get answers from him. Mm-hmm. And then there's that moment, like, what are you thinking? Like, it's about to come out of his, like, the words are about to come out, and he stops himself. He goes, I can't do that. We're already here. And it's so true, because it's like, they are there. They're already there. We can't play the what if game and have the regrets. Like, you're going to have the regrets, but there's no point in talking about it. You're there.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, he's all about, okay, what do we do?
Right. He's like, we're going to get through this as a family. Like, what else can we do? You know?
Yeah.
I love it when he's like, I would have hoped you would have been responsible. I mean, you know where babies come from. What were you thinking?
Yeah.
It's like really like a father and son, really, thing of like, what were you, come on, guy.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
But also when he's not pissed or lashing out, I was like, oh yeah, this man has probably been in combat, and
the
like,
discipline. I mean,
he's just like, I can't get pissed about this.
Yeah, I know. He handles it very well, and then in fact, too well, or so well. Martin, I think, wanted, like, okay, I don't know,
kind of like how Simon wanted Eric to like give him shit.
Well,
Martin,
different though. See, here's the thing. I think my take on the situation is Martin had prepared himself for a yelling and screaming match. You know, he girded himself. Like, when he told his dad, it's almost like, and then he closed his eyes and like waited for the storm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he didn't get that reaction. So he brought it upon himself.
Yeah.
He's like, how can you say it's going to be fine? Don't you know my life is over? Everything I've ever wanted is done. Like, he then starts losing it because he's only in his head prepared for the screaming match of like, your life is over, whatever. And he didn't get that. And so he doesn't know how to deal with these emotions.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And these feelings, or even just the reality of the situation, which is that he's going to do the responsible thing. He's going to be there and he's going to be involved in whatever, he's not ready for that.
And even hearing his dad saying, are you going to marry her? He's like, I want nothing to do with her.
I know. That was rough.
Yeah. I know.
I don't know, man.
And also Kevin, I'm going to say kudos to Kevin.
Okay.
For all the things he said to Martin.
Oh, at the end?
At the end, kudos to Kevin there.
Yeah, I will say that.
And I mean,
as hesitant as I was in the last episode for him to be involved, I think he did have something decent to say.
And I was like, be careful, he's holding Savannah. Like, but
Yeah, because I mean, he basically does say like, tell her now before it gets bad. And he does need to tell Mare.
He needs to tell Mare.
He's told his dad now, fine. You gotta fucking tell Mare.
And
go ahead.
But not only that though, I like when he said, but it doesn't matter. There's still a baby and she doesn't care, or he doesn't care what the hell you're going through, because that kid's going to need somebody.
I know.
Those words, he's like, I don't care. It doesn't matter what circumstances you're in.
Yeah, the
That
baby
kid-
doesn't know you're scared. The baby
Yeah.
doesn't know you're 18. Baby doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Baby needs.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But what were you going to say?
there's like three things I want. There's like a million things I want to talk about. The first is when Martin storms away from the backyard, leaving
Yeah.
Martin's dad and Eric in the backyard. And oh my God, I just have to play it.
Okay.
It's like so cute. Because he says, like, Bo says, like, yeah, like he's got to tell Mare, you know, and there's like whatever. And then, because then he's like, oh, who knows or whatever. So like Eric tells him like everyone that knows. And then he's like, what about Ruthie?
Ruthie? What about Ruthie?
Not yet. I'm hoping Martin will tell her.
He should. But first he should tell Meredith, don't you think?
Yeah, probably.
That girl is so in love with him.
Meredith, yeah.
No, I meant Ruthie. Not that Meredith's not a great girl. She is. She's very sweet. I just had the feeling that this was kind of a first love for them and at some point they'd move on. And I was kind of hoping that 10 years from now, we'd see each other at the front of a church. You know what I mean? Anyway, back to reality. I better go find Martin. Night, Reverend.
Good night.
Yeah. I know. I wasn't expecting
My
that.
heart.
Yeah.
Like the way he says it too is like, you know, 10 years from now, we'd see each other in front of a church. Know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like it's so perfect. Like it says everything it needed to say in the most like efficient way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so sweet. And then he's like, back to reality, I guess. Like, gotta go. You know, like,
Yeah.
I just, and it's like, it is sad. Like it made me cry, that scene, when I watched it the first time, because it's like a loss, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the loss of what could have been, what should have been, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, all these things. Like, it's such a sweet little moment between these dads, you know?
I know. I think so.
Ugh. Anyway. Okay, but we didn't even talk about the conversation he has with Meredith at the batting cages to begin with.
Oh, yeah.
Which, in hindsight, like, not even in hindsight, but like even in the moment, like, is so heartbreaking.
Because he's not even with her. Like,
I know.
You could tell he's miles away.
I know.
And with everything that she's saying, he's like, oh, shit. Like, it's like this doom.
Yeah, she's making it worse because, well, I mean, he's made it worse, obviously, but her love for him and like devotion to him, like, makes it worse, you know? Like, it's so heartbreaking. I'm torn between playing it and just talking about it. Like,
I know.
I kind of just want to talk about it, I think. Like,
okay.
Because basically he's batting and she's watching, and then he's like, okay, like, do you want to take a shot? And she's like, no. And then she's like, but like, if you're just bored of me, like, sitting here watching you or whatever, like, I'll leave. It's cool. Like, you know, like, she's like, they're so cute. Their dynamic is so cute and playful and like sweet, you know? And I believe it. Like, he does love her. I know he does. You know what I mean? So she's just like, okay. And then he's like, you know, the thing is, or whatever. And she's like, okay, what's the thing? Right.
Yeah.
And, he starts talking about how he's not going to be around much next semester. Like, he might not be in school at all. And she's like, oh, but like baseball though, you know, like, you're going to stick around for baseball. And he's like, well, I might not. Like, I might try to go be like in the minor leagues or whatever, you know. And she's like, okay, well, if you're asking like if I'll wait for you, like, I totally will.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't even have to like I'll just be here for you whenever you want me to, which is not the greatest message for a young woman, but anyway, like, I'll take it because I know what she means.
Yeah.
Like, in my head, I was picturing an existence where, you know, she does her own thing. She wants to go to college and be a social worker, and he does his thing, and he probably has sex on the road, and she probably has some guys on the side or whatever, but when they're together, they're together. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I was envisioning for them as she's talking about it. And it's like real, like, it's a relationship that's like open, but it's like they're in love with each other forever, and like that's the real relationship, you know. And so she's like, yeah, because like I'm, whatever. And he's like, it's probably going to be a while before I can settle down with the house and a family and all that, because like, the life of a minor leaguer is just like traveling, making no money, trying to make it to the big show or whatever. And she's like, well, like I'm a junior in high school. Like, it's not like I'm trying to settle down and we can have a family tomorrow either. Like, it's fine. Like I want to do whatever you want to do. Like, I just love you and whatever. And it's like, ugh.
I know.
It's so sad. I don't know how she's going to take it when he tells her, which is probably going to be in the next episode, given how this one ends. Yeah. It's really sad. It's really, really sad.
I know.
Like, I fully cried a lot in this episode. Like, I'm not going to lie. I cried a lot thinking about everything. Like, just all I know. And then I even wrote, I said, all Mare is doing is being loving and supporting, and she has no fucking clue, dude.
No idea.
She has no clue. When she comes up and sees Savannah and Kevin talking to Martin and stuff, and she's like, oh my God, she's so cute. Like, isn't she? And she turns to Martin, she's like, isn't she cute? Whatever.
Yeah, and he's like,
Martin's like, let's go. Like, ugh. I know. It's gonna be rough.
I know.
It's so crazy that like all of a sudden I really care. Like, we always talk about how like, why do I care about these characters? They've made me care.
Yeah.
Like, the show has made me care about Haley Duff, Sandy, has made me care about Meredith, has made me care about these people in a way that's never happened before.
I know, that's true.
It's like phenomenal, dude. It's like
they're actually investing in a story.
You. They're nailing it this season. Like they're really telling a story is what they're doing. They're
once.
telling a full story, episode by episode. Shocking that this is how television works. like, ooh, what a revelation.
They just learned.
Yeah.
Or whatever year that was. That's when they learned.
Yeah. Like, it's so like, duh, jeez.
Lucille.
I even put it in my notes. I wrote, it's nice that Eric and Lucille care about him.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like, is there anything else to say? This is a shorty, but
yeah, I can't even remember really seeing Annie except in the beginning.
Yeah, with the groceries.
Yeah,
I know she doesn't have much to do in this episode.
No, not much.
Neither do the twins.
No. They're just really invested in the kids in this episode.
Yeah,
the youngins.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think. Okay, so this aired in like mid-November.
Okay.
So I think Thanksgiving is probably coming up, if not the next episode, the one after that.
Okay.
Which then that's usually about the break, right? Like they might have a Christmas episode, they might not. They haven't really done one in several seasons.
That's true. They haven't.
So I feel like, I think what they'll do, if I have any right, or if I'm guessing correctly, what they'll do is the big reveal to like Ruthie, Meredith, like basically like all the, chickens coming home to roost moment will be at the break, like at the half, right? And then the entire back half of the season will be just the resolution of all of that. Like where do we go from there kind of thing. The question will be, when will the rose fall?
God, I know.
When will the rose wither?
I know. I'm looking
right?
God, I'm looking forward to it.
I know. I wonder if the back half of the season will be the rose comeuppance.
It needs to happen.
Like one episode at a time, just chipping away at what is the Rose and Simon relationship. Like, I wonder if the reveal to Rose about Sandy will be at the break.
God, I hope so.
I hope so too, man. I hope it all just comes out of the woodwork like termites, baby. I just want them all to come pouring out. The Sandy truth, the Martin truth, all of it. Like, I just want it all out in the open.
Yep, I'm looking
so
forward
that
to
we
it.
can see what comes out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't know. Okay, so let's rate this puppy.
All right, let's rate it.
You have to go first. I went first last time.
Okay. That's the game we're
the rules.
2 thumbs up.
Nice.
Yeah, 2 thumbs up.
Nice. I think I'm gonna give this 1 thumb up, 1 thumb down, and that's just me like hedging a little bit. I think like I don't really have any issues with this episode. It's just like it's just not my favorite. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in the scheme of the 7 we've watched,
Yeah.
it's not one of the greatest. Or
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
But really no faults with it. Like I suppose if I were gonna find faults, it would be like too many beats of labels for education.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
too much of that. I don't love the Jack thing like we talked about. Like not even so much that they're reintroducing Jack, just how like open Ruthie is with him.
Yeah.
Like, just like the word vomiting that Ruthie is doing with him. It's just like it's
never
a bit
ends.
much. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm gonna save my 2 thumbs for episodes that like I really love. That like are like that like speak to me, you know.
Maybe next episode.
Hopefully. We'll see. If that's gonna be the big reveal one, I'm all like, ooh, I will say right now, the big reveal episode will get 2 thumbs up. Like
Yeah.
imagine that episode sucks though. Oh my god!
I thought that in my
I
head
can't even
too.
think about it. I'm gonna hope for the best. This show has not disappointed. This season has not disappointed so far. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna hope for the best. We'll
I like
see.
you're about to say this show hasn't, and you're like, this season, like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
corrected
yeah,
yourself.
I had to. Let's not get ahead of ourselves
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
The show has a lot of work to do.
I know.
But yeah, so this is the shorty. I feel bad for our listeners, but it's kind of it. There's not much.
There
There's
really
not
isn't much
meat.
Yeah,
you know?
it felt like it was more of a wrap up of Martin.
It
Like
it
this-
felt like the conclusion to the previous episode.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly
Like
that.
like we started some threads last episode, and then this one like closed the loop a little bit,
Yep.
and now it opens the door to the next one a little.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. So we shall see. That's going to do it for us, folks. But as always, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. You can follow us on social media at the number 4 Heaven's Sake Pod, or send us an email at forheavensakeshow@gmail.com. Also, we're on patreon.com/forheavensakepod. We've got 2 tiers on there now. We have the Keep the Lights On tier and the Heaven Head tier. We're super excited about both of those things. Keep the Lights On is really just about allowing the show to continue to exist and be available long after it ends. So as we are nearing our end date here, we want to encourage all of you guys to support us on that so that we can keep it available for you guys long after it's over. So that's patreon.com/4 and then Heaven's Sake Pod. So until next time, bye.
Bye.